Hello, this is a documentary about LGBT.
And we will interview different people to see their opinion. Aquí con el hermano Gonzalo. Ya. La primera pregunta es, ¿qué piensas sobre la comunidad LGTBI?
Mira, mi hermano, la comunidad LGBTI, nosotros, ¿qué podemos pensar? Ellos también son seres humanos y antes de seres humanos son hijos de Dios y nosotros también debemos responder como respondería Jesús, que es amarlos como Él nos amó. Él no tiene distinción de personas, de sexo, de rango ni de religión.
Ya. ¿Alguna vez ha tenido alguna experiencia de alguien cercano que sea LGTBI?
Sí, de hecho nosotros estamos trabajando con un grupo de estos hermanos de la congregación LGBTI. Estamos tratando de espiritualizarles a los hermanos, que se acerquen más a la Iglesia Católica y que aprendan verdaderamente lo que es servirle a Dios a través de sus mandamientos.
Ya. ¿Cree usted que la Iglesia acepta en verdad a la comunidad LGTBI?
Claro, ¿por qué no los va a aceptar? También son parte de la comunidad, son parte, también son hijos de Dios y Dios no discrimina al hombre. Lo que Dios no está de acuerdo, y tal vez en la religión también lo que no está de acuerdo es con el pecado, más no con el pecador. Dios ama al hombre, al pecador como tal, pero...
¿Alguna vez le han pedido o ha sabido de que una pareja LGTBI ha querido casarse por la iglesia?
Sí, hemos tenido la oportunidad que nos han pedido asesoramiento acerca del matrimonio entre los hermanos del mismo sexo, ¿sí? Pero nosotros no estamos regidos como Iglesia Católica a los mandamientos de Dios. En la palabra del Señor en el Génesis nos dice que Dios creó a hombre y mujer, ¿sí? Macho y hembra los creó y nosotros debemos ser respetuosos a la palabra de Dios, ¿sí?
¿Y usted qué piensa sobre el casamiento, sobre el matrimonio LGTBI?
Nosotros tenemos una palabra que verdaderamente Jesús nos dejó un regalo llamado el libre albedrío. Nosotros tomamos la decisión del bien y del mal. Entre el bien y el mal tenemos que aprender a definir, pero lo que nosotros sí verdaderamente, yo personalmente no estoy de acuerdo con el casamiento entre personas del mismo sexo. Lo más importante es, como vuelvo y repito, aprender a respetar los mandamientos de nuestro Señor.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias también a ti, que Dios te bendiga.
This is Rachel Hassan and we're gonna interview her. What do you think of the LGBT community?
Wonderful. I have many friends that are part of the LGBTQ community, so I've interacted with that community quite a bit.
Do you know someone that is in the LGBT group?
I do. Several of my good friends from university and from back home in Chicago are part of the community.
If you were part of the LGBT community, would you tell everyone or keep it to yourself?
I believe I would tell everyone. For me, it's just a big part of your identity, so I think that's something that I personally would want to share with other people. But I understand why people don't always share out, because it's personal. It is something very intimate, and if you don't want to share, I think it's everyone's own opinion, but I would.
Do you think the LGBT community are not treated equally?
I do think that there is discrimination against people part of the LGBTQ community because I don't think it's been fully accepted yet, it's just a shame. I think people, regardless of your personal identity, you should be accepted as a human, as a person, judged only by your actions, not by how you identify.
Do you respect the LGBT community?
Absolutely. Like I said, a number of my friends are part of the LGBTQ community, and they're all wonderful, wonderful people. So absolutely.
Hi.
What do you think of the LGBTQ community?
I am supportive of them. I feel like they've had a tough time in life, but I think that we're making progress as a society to make that life easier for them.
Do you know someone that is in the LGBTQ community?
Sure.
If you were part of the LGBTQ community, would you tell everyone or keep it to yourself?
I don't know.
Do you think the LGBT community are not treated equally?
I think they are not. I think in school, in law, in public, I think it can be very difficult for them.
Do you respect the LGBTQ community?
I do.
Thank you. What do you think of the LGBTQ community?
I just respect the way of thinking or acting. It's just another way of living, which I respect.
Do you know someone that is LGBTQ group? If you were part of the LGBTQ community, would you tell everyone or keep it to yourself?
I will tell everyone. I will be more than proud.
Do you think LGBTQ community are not treated equally?
Not here, maybe in other countries, but here it's like they're starting to respect the way of living and thinking.
Do you respect the LGBTQ community?
Of course I do.
Thank you.
Here we are with Valeria Vivero, a student from Colegio Menor. What do you think of the LGBT community? They are a community that should be respected, and I don't judge them. Do you know someone that is in the LGBT community? Yes. If you were part of the LGBT community, would you tell everyone or keep it to yourself? I would maybe tell my family and my friends. Do you think the LGBT community is treated equally? No. The community is not treated equally. Do you respect the LGBT community? Yes, I respect them. A Colegio Menor student. What do you think of the LGBT community?
I think they are not treated as they are supposed to be treated because we are all humans and we deserve the same privilege as everyone else because it doesn't matter your race, your color, or anything else.
Do you know someone that is in the LGBTQ group?
Yes, I know someone.
If you were part of the LGBTQ community, would you tell everyone or keep it to yourself?
I think I would keep it to myself and just tell my family because they discriminate a lot and I would feel very bad.
Do you think the LGBT community is not treated equally?
I think it's not treated equally because there's a lot of rules restricting the LGBT community like marriage and adoption.
Do you respect the LGBT community?
I do respect them because I think we are all humans and we deserve the same, everyone.
Today we are with Alberto, a Colegio Menor student. What do you think of the LGBT community?
I think that we should accept them how they are and don't them like weird.
Do you know someone that is in the LGBTQ group?
No, I don't know.
If you were part of the LGBTQ community, would you tell everyone or keep it to yourself?
At some point I think that I should say it to everyone so that they accept me and see if they...
Do you think the LGBTQ community is not treated equally?
I think it's treated equally, but sometimes they get advantage of like how they are and say people like they are bothering them for what they are, but that's not true.
Do you respect the LGBT community?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
So here we are with Weston, and we're gonna ask some questions. Our project is focusing on the connection between religion and LGBTQ rights. How do you see this relationship in Ecuador? What about the USA?
Starting in Ecuador, I don't know very much about how religion and LGBTQ rights are connected in Ecuador. I know that it is a very Catholic population, and I know that typically Catholic organizations have not the most positive view of LGBTQ communities, but I've not really seen that firsthand just because I have seen the LGBTQ community, but I've not really seen the religious community and how they interact with it. As far as in the United States, there definitely is a conflict there, but it's not all religious groups. So there are a lot of religious groups that are very anti-LGBTQ, but there are also other religious groups that are more supportive. So there's definitely churches that exist that even have priests and religious leaders that are part of the LGBTQ community. It just depends on the type of church organization.
Okay, do you feel accepted by your community?
In Ecuador, it depends on the community you're talking about. Definitely the community of teachers here at the school. I feel very accepted by them, but I definitely, in a broader sense, when I'm out in public, I am not quite as open about my sexuality because I know there's a lot of negative stereotypes and a lot of negative reactions from that.
Okay. Tell me about when you came out to your parents. Was it difficult? How was your relationship with them?
It was very difficult. I think every person in the LGBT community has a coming out story, and each story is different. For me, my relationship with my parents right now is really great, and it never really suffered because of me coming out, but I had a lot of anxiety and I was very nervous about it. I didn't know how they would react, and so I came out to them through an email when I was a continent away. I was very far away from them, and I sent him an email, and I feel really bad about it, but I had been wanting to have a conversation with him about my sexuality, but I was nervous how they would react. I have a memory of my father. We were driving somewhere, and we were having a conversation. He was like, you know what, Weston, you're a good son. And then he goes through and lists all the reasons why he thinks I'm a good son. You're smart in school, you get good grades, you're socially active, and one of the other things that he added on his list of reasons why I'm a good son is because I like girls and I get along with girls. And I'm like, well, I don't like girls.
Ya está.
Okay. Tell me about coming out to your friends. Do you still have the same friends as before? Did coming out change any of your relationship?
Coming out to my friends was actually a lot easier. I came out to them probably about 2 years before I came out to my family, and for the most part I'm friends with all those same people. I do remember the one situation where I had a friend and we were actually really, really close, and we had gotten to know each other really, really well. And after we had gotten to know each other, I came out to him. And one of his reactions to that, one of the things he told me was, I'm glad that I knew you first before you came out to me, because if I had known that you were gay before we started to get to know each other, we probably wouldn't be friends. And that was really powerful for me, knowing that, you know, I hopefully have changed his opinion about queer people, about people in the LGBT community, because he would not have taken the time to get to know me if he had known I was part of the LGBT community before getting to know me. So I got to know him, I gained his trust, he knew me as a person, and then he found out I was gay, and I think that completely changed his opinion.